CST unit from the U.S. National Guard sets these mobile hospitals up. Okay, that's from NBC News. So now you know what the Central Park looks like, and a lot of other places are going to look exactly like this as the National Guard mobilizes. Now, last week, the beginning of last week, President Trump set up the case for the military to bring on 1 million reserve troops. 1 million reserve troops is what President Trump has brought in to assist the hospitals throughout the country in treating the coronavirus patients. Now, I'm sad to say that a lot of this is a hoax. I hate to even say this because it goes against everything that I've been brought up with. I never thought that I'd be accusing the government of fraud, but I am. Before I go any further, I told you the state of Utah has 809 active cases. That is a total of 92 cases more than they had yesterday at this time. That's just in Utah. We've now got 4 deaths, as I reported yesterday. Total number of new deaths has increased by 2 since yesterday morning, since actually Saturday. Okay, total critically ill patients in Utah, active critical patients, 802 critical patients. Okay, that's just Utah. And I could go down the line. Nevada has 1,000 cases, a total of 130 new cases with 25 deaths. Okay. Colorado has 2,627 cases. 320 of those are brand new. They have 51 deaths. New York has 67,325 total cases, 6,645 new cases. 6,645 new cases. And they have 1,342 deaths. Now, you all are probably wondering why I'm going this far. Folks, I need you to take a look at several YouTube channels. The first YouTube channel I want you to check out after our program is over is the Dave Hodges Show. The Dave Hodges Show. It's entitled Public Service Announcement with Paul Martin and Dave Hodges. This is an absolute necessity that you see that after you see our show tonight. It's called Public Service Announcement, Paul Martin and Dave Hodges. Now, that's not all, folks. There's more. There's one other show one of his shows that I want you to see from yesterday. It's called I'm Not Done. Yes, you are. I'm not done. Yes, you are. Those 2 shows, Okay. Now, there's more than that. There's more than that. There's another YouTube creator that I want you to check out. This man is Richie. Richie from Boston. Richie from Boston. You need to check out his Mobilization for Invasion Target America. This is a 12-minute and 43-second video, but it's going to tell you a lot of information that you didn't know, because I didn't know it until today. And this came out on the 29th, yesterday. You need to see it. I would play it, except I'd probably get a copyright strike. This is an absolute necessity with the two shows of Dave Hodges. It's called Mobilization for Invasion Target America, Richie from Boston. Okay. The second video I want you to check out from his is called Who Would Have Guessed It Begins in Texas? But this is not Richie's show. I'm going to play it for you right now. I hope I'm going to play it for you right now. This is Headlines with a Voice. It's frozen. This video is very important.
Effective noon, March 30th, 2020. Every person who enters the state of Texas through roadways from Louisiana or from any other state, as may be proclaimed hereafter, shall be subject to mandatory self-quarantine for a period of 14 days from the time of entry into Texas or the duration of the person's presence in Texas, whichever is shorter. Each person covered by this order to self-quarantine shall be responsible for all associated costs, including transportation, lodging, food, and medical care. The Texas Department of Public Safety shall enforce this executive order along the Texas-Louisiana border. Using a form to be prescribed by DPS, each covered person shall designate a quarantine location in Texas, such as a residence or a hotel, and provide a full name, date of birth, home address, telephone number, and driver's license or passport information. DPS troopers or other approved peace officers will collect a completed form from a covered person and verify it against the person's driver's license or passport. Providing false information on this form is a criminal offense of the Texas Penal Code. A covered person shall proceed directly to the designated quarantine location entered on the DPS form. Any covered person exhibiting symptoms shall be escorted to the designated quarantine location by a DPS trooper. A covered person shall remain in the designated quarantine location for a period of 14 days, or the duration of the person's presence in Texas, whichever is shorter, leaving only to seek medical care or to depart from Texas. During that period, a covered person shall not allow visitors into or out of the designated quarantine location other than a health department employee, a physician, or a healthcare provider, and shall not visit any public spaces. DPS special agents will conduct unannounced visits to designated quarantine locations to verify compliance by confirming the physical presence of covered persons. Any failure to comply with this order shall be a criminal offense, punishable by a fine not to exceed $1,000, confinement in jail for a term not to exceed 180 days, or both. Narrator's note. The state of Texas securing a border. Imagine that. For Headlines with a Voice, this is Nancy Morgan Hart.
Okay, folks, you got it. You got it. Texas is quarantining anyone coming across the border from Louisiana for 14 days. And anyone that is caught crossing the border will be quarantined at their own expense. The only place they can go is to get food and or go to a doctor's visit, of which they must cover. They must cover their own housing, must cover their own doctor's visit, and they have to buy their own food. Okay, those are the new regulations in Texas. Over in Florida, they now have got some rules and regulations set up in Florida. Okay, you guys need to get on top of this. Okay, you guys need to get on top of it. It's not going to be fun. Okay, they have some stipulations in Florida that you need to be on top of. Okay, you need to be on top of them because it's not over, folks. It's not over. We are in a lot of trouble. Okay. Okay. I want you to know what is going on. Okay. I'm also in the chat over on YouTube. I sent a message a little bit ago to those of you in another group that I belong to that YouTube may or may not have been covering this. They shut our show earlier this morning, Red Pill down. I was notified by Melissa that they shut our show Red Pill down. And if they were going to do that, she was going to try to post my show in the morning. But fortunately, we are on YouTube, okay? This is very important. You guys need to know what's going on. And I promise I will get to Cascadia in a minute, guys. But this is very important, the information I'm going to give you. If you're in California, you need to keep a low profile. Keep your head down, keep your eyes and ears open. And if you don't have to, don't go anywhere. The guard in California has been activated. They are on patrol with the local police. Now, you need to see this video I told you about from Dave Hodges. You guys need to keep a low profile in California. If you get a heavy knock on the door, don't answer it. Don't talk, don't do anything. If someone immediately after that knock calls you on the phone, don't answer it. Don't answer it. Now, your phones also have GPS on them, and they are going to tell the National Guard or the local police that you're home. Now, I have it on good information from Dave Hodges. that if they do show up at your door in California, they're going to tell you you have coronavirus, and they're going to pick you up and take you away. Richard, you're absolutely right. The coronavirus has never passed the smell test. It's a hoax. Yes, people are dying. I also have it on good authority that there are medical doctors that are telling other doctors when somebody dies, don't write anything else other than the coronavirus on it as a cause of death. They're willing to cover out everything else up. Folks, I think I told you this yesterday. The coronavirus patients that are dying are 0.3% of the population, less than what was happening during H1N1 earlier this century, and less than the tuberculosis virus that was going around in 2017. Yes, we are showing a lot of people dying in New York. The county coroners in New York now have alternative morgues set up outside their county offices to handle the number of deaths coming out of the hospitals. And they have refrigerator trucks also set up to house bodies until those bodies can be processed. That's what's going on. Yes, Rochelle, 0.3%. Oh my. Oh my. We are being lied to, folks. We are being lied to big time. Now, Paul Martin told Dave Hodges earlier that they had already started putting people in Los Angeles, taking the homeless off the street and putting them in sports arenas, all together with everybody. What are they doing? Okay. They're not testing them for coronavirus, TB. They're not testing for the plague, which some of them have had. True story. They're putting them all in one area so they can be sick together. Let me tell you something else that I found out this morning. The U.S. Marshal's Office has gotten together with Walmart and Targets. Walmart and Target stores. And it's not for shopping. It's not for shopping. They set up surveillance cameras in those stores. They're getting ready to house people in those stores, just like some of you told me was happening months ago. Yes, Scooter Pie, you saw photos of bodies of trucks today. Yes, you did. Okay. Is this FEMA, Rochelle? I don't know, but I know for a fact that it's the U.S. Marshal's Office. It's not Homeland Security. It's the U.S. Marshal's Office. That's what's going on. You need to watch those two that one Dave Hodges show. and also, or those two Dave Hodges shows, I should say, and that one show from Richie from Boston. That is an absolute must for you to see. I will put a link to those shows on the description page on the YouTube channel when I get through tonight. Melissa, if you're listening, Melissa or Scarlett, if you're listening, please find those shows and the others that Scarlett told me about from early this morning. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning, guys. I've gotten very little sleep. Lisa, we have a reason to be scared. I have said, don't be scared, be prepared. You need to be prepared, very prepared. And please know that I love each and every one of you. That's why I'm spending so much darn time talking about this. Yes, Marshall, Trump last week called up 1 million reservists. 1 million reservists. Also, he put all of the people in control of the military, locked them up inside Cheyenne Mountain. Rochelle, right now, Rochelle just asked, are they doing this in all states? They're getting ready to in all states. I know for a fact what's going on in California. The Walmart and the Target is going up all over the place. Lisa, I can only imagine what you're going through. Lisa said she works at a hospital. She's in charge of infectious disease. She says she's spending her days dealing with coronavirus and watching her employees get this virus. 7 younger employees have gotten this virus. Thanks for sharing that, Lisa. I appreciate that. Yes, Sharon NORAD, Cheyenne Mountain. Those people are already in Cheyenne Mountain. Those command and control military people are locked up in Cheyenne Mountain right now. And yes, the death rate is not like TB, and it's not even close to H1N1. But it is a real sickness. People are getting sick. But folks, even from Dr. Fauci, I can play it again. Yesterday I played it. Dr. Fauci said last week that this virus is no more powerful than the seasonal flu. Yeah. And if you guys want me to find that clip, I'll find the clip. I saw it again today. I wanted to verify it. Rochelle, before yesterday, I would say Trump didn't know anything about it, but I think he does. They're going to run him out of office. The deep state and the one world order people are going to run him out of office. Storm Gypsy, this coronavirus has been a militarized weapon, and it's a biohazard weapon. Yes, the world has gone to hell in a handbasket, Pam. Yes, Trump, I believe, wears a white hat. I do believe that, Richard. But we don't have to go into April 30th to lock people up. Sheila says Fauci has been with the deep state for 30 years and is working with the Gates vaccines. Guess what, folks? He also sent a very loving email to Hillary Clinton last year. Yeah. Yes, we need to pray for the president's safety. Absolutely. But Dr. Fauci is corrupt. And so is Dr. Birx. And I did play a clip from Dr. Birx the other day, yesterday may have been. Okay? And even she was debunking the seriousness of the coronavirus. Kathleen, I believe those closed stores are the ones they're using. I believe that the Walmarts and the Targets are in bed together with the U.S. Marshal's Office. Yes, Storm Gypsy, I have heard that. Yes, Trump, I believe, has turned this virus around on the deep state. I believe that. And he's trying to fight it. I believe he is. But he has also said some things this past week that lead me to believe that he knows about what's going on and is trying to fight it. Storm Gypsy, yes, we do have a lot of the gold ourselves. But in some cases, some of us don't have the gold. We think we do. We have ownership certificates, but it's not in our possession. I hope Trump is winning. I do. We now have 15 states under quarantine. 15 states. Folks, I need you guys to be ready. Yeah, the U.S. Marshals Service is supposed to be protecting us. But what are they doing with the FEMA? What are they doing with Walmart? What are they doing with Targets? Okay. Those of you in California, keep a cool tool. Keep your heads down. Keep a low profile. Yes, Linda, we have to pray for our leaders, righteous leaders, the people in our country, our citizens, and the entire country. And while we're at it, we need to pray for every country throughout the world. Because other countries have it just as bad or worse than we do right now. Yes, the MSM won't report about what France has done with the drug approach. The MSM should never be listened to from now on. Treat the MSM as excrement, because that's what they are. Kevin, I never said that this virus wasn't real. I know people have it. I know people have it. I know 2 people here in Utah that have died. I'm well aware that this virus is real, but the MSM has blown it out of proportion. Kathleen, be advised what they're doing in California. All of you, I'll say it again. They've rounded up the homeless and they're putting them in sports arenas, irregardless of what disease they have. And I believe that they're going to be rounding up people very shortly. People that are telling everybody about what is going on, the real side of what's going on. Bruce is right. The virus is real and it's being used as a false flag event. That's what's really going on. Larry, we're very pleased that these people, a large majority of these people are in the Facebook group, chat group. Okay. Yes, Sharon, the idiot over in Colorado in charge is an idiot. And he'll keep Colorado closed for a good long time. Yes, the homeless should be rounded up and kept separate from everybody else. Right now, they're picking them up and putting them in sports arenas. Irregardless whether they have the plague, the coronavirus, or anything else that's wrong. And at the sports arenas where they're taking these people, it's going to turn into another New Orleans football stadium. Believe me. Okay. I wanted to give you a heads up, guys. If you're in California, keep a low profile right now, because stuff is happening in California, and it's about to happen throughout the country. Okay. Yes, Pompeo said it's a live exercise. Yeah, it is. And the Admiral did flinch, Lisa. You're absolutely right. And Sharon's right about the Michigan governor and many other governors too. I'm going to keep a very close eye on everything, guys. I promise you. And as stuff develops, I'm going to tell you about it. And like I said, I will leave links at the bottom of our YouTube video in the description area to everything that's going on. That way you can go there and check it yourself. Thank you, Susie. And by the way, the Sunday school class for next Sunday, we're going to be talking about Matthew 3, Mark 1, and Luke 3. Matthew 3, Luke 3, and Mark 1. So if you want to study that, then we can talk about it. Okay? Got plenty of time. We've got 6 days on it. No, they're not just rounding up the gangs. Storm Gypsy, I wish we could say don't be afraid. Keep your heads down. Beep, beep, thank you too. We appreciate you. Everybody's corrupt. You're right. The Republicans and the Democrats are all corrupt. You're absolutely right. They all need to leave. We need to keep conservatives in Congress and the Senate, in the House and the Senate. But quite honestly, if we can't elect conservatives, this nation's gone, I promise you. If the liberals get in charge of this government in November, we're screwed. We're screwed. Okay. Lay low and keep a low profile, BJ, absolutely. And thank you for saying that. And please don't allow fear. You're absolutely right. I've been telling you all to prepare, prepare, prepare. And I'm going to hammer that home. Things are going to get real desperate from here on out, folks. Going to get very desperate. Okay, with that said, let's go talk about earthquakes. Let's go talk about Cascadia. Okay, we have a lot to talk about. Let's go there. First off, I'm going to talk about a tornado. I'm going to talk about a tornado. Remember that tornado we talked about the other night that hit Jonesboro, Arkansas, annihilated a outdoor shopping center, destroyed it, totally destroyed it. Guess what, folks? It did other damage too. It hit residential areas. I'm going to show you an important article that I came up with today. This is a doctor on the other side of that door, and this is his 1-year-old son. Last week, a photo showing this doctor greeting his 1-year-old son through a glass door while taking a break from treating COVID-19 patients went viral. This was in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Because of the coronavirus risk, Dr. Jared Burks saw his son Zeke crawl for the first time through the glass. That door and the rest of the house have been ruined. The family's Jonesboro, Arkansas home was destroyed by a tornado Saturday. Jared Burks, who was alone in the house at the time, survived. "We are all safe," he said. "Our house is gone." Alicia Burks posted on Facebook. She said she called her husband to warn him about the tornado while watching the news at her parents' house. She'd taken Zeke, their son, while her husband was self-quarantining in the house. He took shelter in a closet, the farthest one from the glass, from the windows, she said, and he was unharmed. Jared Burks is taking a day or two off work to deal with the aftermath, but wants to return quickly to the University of Arkansas Medical Center, where he's a first-year resident. A friend has started a GoFundMe page for the family. Nearly $95,000 has been donated as of this morning. Excuse me. They're going to need help picking up the pieces so they can find another place to live, collect their items, rebuild, all while Jared is working as a first-year resident. As a resident, he's got his hands full, 24/7. Jared is working and fighting for those whose health may be compromised, according to their friend. Okay. The tornado, I don't think I showed you yesterday. A tornado derailed a train when it struck Jonesboro. The only thing the only thing left on the railroad tracks were the wheels for the train cars. The cars were picked up and knocked over. The only thing left on the rails were the wheels from the cars. Okay, I wanted to show you that. Okay, I promised you Cascadia information. Here is Cascadia information. This is Mount Baker. Okay, notice right here, there's nothing going on. They've turned it down, folks. They turned it down. Look what they did yesterday morning. Excuse me, late yesterday evening from 5 o'clock on, and then look what happened. A lot is going on. That's magma infill at Mount Baker. That's magma infill at Mount Baker earlier today. Look, this started at about 3 o'clock, actually started about midnight. But I believe that they had had the machine turned down or turned off prior to that, because look at what's going on. This is now, okay? Why are they not showing it now? Okay? Look at the heavy duty magma infill going on. Let's go back and show you what's going on right now. There it shows nothing. That's impossible. That's impossible knowing what happened prior to 5 o'clock. Look at that. There's no possible way it could just end right there at 4:49 or 4:59 Pacific time. There's no way. And yet, the PNSN people would tell us that nothing is going on. Let's look at the day before that. Very little activity. Let's look at before that. Look at this. You can't tell me that nothing is going on at Mount Baker. Mount Baker in Washington. You can't tell me that. Let me show you one other one. This is Mount Rainier Voigt Creek. This is what's happening right now at Mount Rainier. Heavy duty magma infill. Let's go back to earlier today and last night. I've been watching this, guys. Look at this. This is Mount Rainier. Now that's Mount Rainier. Let's look at it the day before that, the day before yesterday. Look at this. Magma infill is going on. And I believe there's some venting. But with these seismograms, you're not going to see it. The magma infill is too heavy. It's too heavy. Let's go on. This is Mount St. Helens, East Dome, Mount St. Helens. Look at what's going on right now. We came on the air at 5 o'clock or 5:30 Pacific time. Look what's going on. Let's take a look at earlier today and last night. Ignore that blue, this blip here. Ignore that. We've got two minor quakes there. We have heavy duty magma infill going on right here, Mount St. Helens. Let's go back one more day. Let's go back one more day. Ignore this blip here. Here's an earthquake from the day before yesterday. This is Saturday night here, going into Sunday morning and Sunday during the day. Okay. We've had several earthquakes at Mount St. Helens or near Mount St. Helens. Okay. Stuff is going on, folks. Cascadia is moving. Let's go on. Let's go over to Mount Hood. We see magma infill going on Mount Hood. Look at this. That's what's going on right now. Yes, there's a period of a few minutes here where they either shut off the machine or they were messing with it. Okay. That's what's going on. Sorry about that. I had to adjust my earphones. Let's go back to earlier today and last night. Ignore that blip. That doesn't mean anything. Magma infill going on, guys. Look at this. We've got some blips here, here, here. Magma infill going on at Mount Hood. Let's take a look at another one. This is a seismogram for Crater Lake, Oregon, Fleetwood Cove, Crater Lake, Oregon. This is what's going on right now, currently. Let's look at earlier today and last night. Heavy duty magma infill going here at Crater Lake. Look at this. It's incredible, folks. It's incredible. That's Crater Lake. Let's take a look at the day before that. Let's take a look at Saturday. Friday night, Saturday. Friday night, Saturday. Incredible, folks. It's incredible. Okay, let's look at Chrisman Ranch, Davenport, Washington. That's what's going on right now. Some pretty good magma infill going on right now, presently. Let's take a look at earlier today and last night. Look at this. Chrisman Ranch. You can't tell me that something isn't going on. They'd like us to believe that. Many of you sent me information that PNSN wasn't reporting anything. Guess what? It's here. They're withholding evidence, but it's here. Look at the day before yesterday, Chrisman Ranch. Friday night going into Saturday, the Chrisman Ranch. This is Saturday night. It's not the only thing going on. Let's take a look at another one. This is Glacier Peak, folks. This is what's going on at Glacier Peak right now, Washington. Looks like there's some magma infill, right? Let's take a look at earlier today and last night, Glacier Peak. Look at this, folks. Magma infill going on at Glacier Peak. Take a look at Friday night, Saturday. Look at this, folks. We had an event here Saturday morning, Glacier Peak. I think this was like a 2.2 or something earthquake. Okay, let's go on and look at another one. Here is Jordan Valley, Oregon, Eastern Oregon. Look at this. Magma infill going on in Jordan Valley. Let's take a look at earlier today and last night. Look at this. All day today and last night. Let's take a look at Saturday night, Sunday morning. Magma infill going on. Magma infill going on. Let's take a look at one more. Actually, several more. Okay? Several more. Remember San Francisco? Remember me telling you that there's magma coming in from the ocean around San Francisco? Twitchell Island, folks. Look what's going on at Twitchell Island. Magma infill going on, folks. A lot of it. A lot of it. It's not the only place. Northern California, Siskiyou County. Look at this. Look at this. This is Berkeley, California, where I got this information. University of Berkeley. We even have some magma infill going on here. Look at this one here. Livermore, California. Livermore, California National Labs is where this is at. To the left of that is Sutter Creek, California. To the right is Fresno. Look at this. Calflax, California. West side. We have magma underneath here too. Let's take a look at some other places too. This is Signal Peak, California. Above that, Schuler Canyon. To the left, Callahan, California. To the right, Yuba County. There's magma going on almost everywhere. There's some kind of disturbance underneath the ground. Look here at Davis, California, folks. Magma, Davis, California. Look here at Big Pine, California, out in the desert. We said there was earthquakes. There's magma coming into the desert. Look at this, Wesley, California. This is a big steam event. Where would this be? There's only two places it could be. It's either Mount Lassen, I believe it's probably Mount Lassen, or Mount Shasta. Okay, Big Pine, California, Mount Lassen or Shasta. That is a steam event right here. That is a steam event. Oakville, California, you see magma there. Look at this one in Mendocino County. Mendocino County. This is up by the Gorda Escarpment. Magma. Magma coming in through the magma chambers up there near the Gorda Escarpment. Okay, look at Parlier, California. Here's another one. Parlier, California. We have magma here. Bayside, California here. Here's another one. Hopland, California. I think this is also in Northern California. Castle, California. Look at this one in Marina, California here. Magma coming into Marina, California, folks. Look here at Berkeley. I mentioned that. That's where we got this information here. Humboldt County, Northern California. Humboldt County. Magma infill. Look at Berkeley, California here. Here's some activity up at the Redwoods, California. Redwood Valley, California, up north. Okay, that's what's going on. Northern California Earthquake Data Center. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on here at Mammoth Lakes. We had a little blip here. We've got blips here. This is magma intrusion, magma infill going on. It's light at magma, or light at Mammoth, excuse me. But it's there. You can see it. That's Mammoth Mountain. That's Mammoth Mountain. What do you think of that, folks? There's a lot of activity in the Cascadia region, isn't there? Yeah, there is. There's a lot of activity. Now, yesterday I put out a warning for anywhere from a 6.0 to a 7.5 magnitude earthquake up in the Cascadia region. From Queen Charlotte's Island south, and I'll even take that one down to Southern California. We're going to have at least a 5 to a 6.0 in Southern California, at least. Okay. Like I said, down in Central America, you folks also need to be advised. We're probably going to have a 6.0 event either in the Central America area or out to sea off the west coast of Central America. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going on. Now, I brought up the USGS map. I've got some things I want to show you here. Look at this. Look at this. These are earthquakes that just happened. Southern California, Bodefish, California. Now this is west. This is west of Ridgecrest. West of Ridgecrest. I'm just looking at some messages here that I've gotten. Okay, folks. We're going to go look at the EMSC map here. I want to show you what happened at Bonefish today. We've also had some large earthquakes. And speaking of which, Salt Lake City, let's turn this off just a minute. I want to show you this. We are still getting earthquakes, aftershocks from that 5.7 over a week and a half ago. This is where the 5.7 right here hit, near Magna, Utah. What is going on? It looks like the aftershocks have moved south. They moved south. Let's look at what's going on here. This is 4 miles. This is a 1.77, 4 miles west of Salt Lake City. Doggone it. 4 miles west of Salt Lake City. The one right next to it. This is a 0.92, also about 4 miles west. Okay, what has gone on here? We've got 2 earthquakes side by side, also 4 miles west. One is a 0.86 and one is a 1.26. Okay, now it looks like these hit in a park or a relatively unoccupied area of Salt Lake City. This is a 0.63. That was a 0.63. The other one, the 0.86, was also across the highway. Excuse me, that's not a highway. That is a major thoroughfare. I'm going to see what this is. This is over this appears to be west and south of the earthquakes. This is 0.92, just underneath the parking lot. Underneath the parking lot. The other earthquake okay, this is the intersection. This is South State Street and Interstate 80. South State Street is where these earthquakes hit. This is Interstate 80. Okay, this is South Salt Lake. Boy, that's interesting. South Salt Lake. Here's a 0.97. Here's a 0.69. South Salt Lake, folks. These other earthquakes, like I said, hit in magma. And there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of these. 12 earthquakes hit over in Magna today, in that same area where we had the 5.7. Folks, I think we need to be ready for another earthquake here in Salt Lake City. It appears that these are not just aftershocks moving through Salt Lake City. Okay, let's take a look at the Pacific Northwest. just east and south of Puget Sound. Low Fall, Washington, we have a 0.48. South of there, Bethel, Washington, a 1.67. These are minor quakes. Let's go south. I know what's up next. This is north and west of Mount Rainier. North and west of Mount Rainier, 1.59. This is a 1.59 east and north of Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier is being right there. Okay, look at the next one. I bet you can guess what this is. A 0.01 where? Mount St. Helens. Mount St. Helens. So we've had earthquakes hit over in Washington State, but no earthquakes in Oregon. No earthquakes in Northern California except these here. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I know what this 10 plus is. This is Sun Valley, Nevada, 0.3. But these others down here, Carson City, Indian Hills, we got a volcano just north of there. Folks, we have aftershocks here. Carson City, 0.1, 0.3, a minus 0.20 above sea level. Oh, darn it. Above sea level, 0.20. I'm just going to poke at these things. Indian Hills is 0.6, 0.1, minus 0.1, 0.7 Carson City, 0.7 Carson City. Folks, Carson City's rattling. It's aftershocks. That 5.1 they had in Carson City just a week ago. Now, nothing around Lake Tahoe. Not a thing. This is Carson City, folks. Nothing else around Lake Tahoe. But we have an earthquake just south of the Gorda Escarpment, Willits, California. We have a 1.5. 1.5 there. This is the geysers, that geothermal power generating facility, Sonoma County. Plenty of earthquakes going on there. We know what happened there. South of there, Vallejo, California, 1.26. Doggone it. Wish that wouldn't do that. 1.26 in Vallejo. Okay, let's go south. Clayton, California, 0.87. Let's go find out what happened down here over just east of Monterey Bay. Hollister, California, is 0.78. Hollister, California is not a stranger to large earthquakes. They've had them. Just south and west, Tres Pinos, a 1.73. Tres Pinos had a 4.7 earthquake, at least that's what USGS wants us to believe, last September. It was actually a 5.2. We talked about that. South of Tres Pinos, we have another one in Tres Pinos. It's a 2. It's a 2.08. Tres Pinos, 2 earthquakes there today. The next one is south there in the Pinnacles, a 1.3 today. Got it. A 1.3 in the Pinnacles. This is an oil and gas pumping area, the Pinnacles. It's also a volcanic area, vulcanization going on there. San Ardo, California, a 2.11, just south, doggone it, a 2.11 just south, well, actually just west of the San Andreas Fault there. On the fault, we have two more. San Arlo 1.6, Parkfield, California, earthquake capital of California, Parkfield, California, a 1.02 today. 1.02 Parkfield. And east of there, Cantua Creek, we had a 2.8 magnitude earthquake. 2.8. Let's go over to Hawthorne, Nevada. We had a 2.2. That's just east of where we were at. 2.2 Hawthorne, Nevada. Over in south and east of there in Tonopah. Tonopah has a 1.0. But what is over here at Mammoth? Mammoth Mountain, folks. 2, 4, 6, 7 earthquakes around Mammoth. Okay, what do we have? 0.93, 0.34, 0.39, 0.54, 0.72. South of Mammoth, we get into Round Valley volcano, folks. 1.16, 1.25, 1.24, and there's another one there. It's hiding. It's probably right underneath the one in Round Valley there. Okay, but Round Valley's a volcano, folks. The Round Valley volcano. These are old cones in Round Valley. Old cones in Round Valley. It's a great big volcanic area, folks, Round Valley. Just south of Longs Valley. All right, let's continue south. Got a lot to talk about. Kozo Junction. We've got a swarm at Kozo Junction, folks. 0.9, 1.0, 0.29, 0.47. Going south, Little Lake, California, 0.91. And they continue, folks. 0.5, 0.5. 0.85, Ridgecrest, 0.85, Searles Valley, 0.91, 0.67, 0.51, Trona, California, is 0.83 today. Trona, California was where the major part of damage happened after Ridgecrest. Trona, California got the major onslaught from the Ridgecrest quake. It's huge area, folks. Huge, huge area. Going west. Remember we had earthquake at Bodefish, a 2.69 and a 2.68, Bodefish, California. Bodefish, California. West of there, the wonderful thing about Tehachapi. Everybody complains about going through the Tehachapi Mountains on the way either out of California or out of Los Angeles or up going there on Interstate 15, leaving Tehachapi and going out into Las Vegas area, going into Nevada, into Las Vegas. They hate the Tehachapi area. I used to hate it. Dangerous section of freeway, but guess what, folks? Tehachapi is also known for earthquakes. A lot of earthquakes in Tehachapi. Today we had a 1.21 there. West of there, west of the San Andreas Fault, Montecito, a 1.45, Montecito, California. Okay, Southern California, folks. Woohoo! Further south, Brea, California. Brea. Remember the tar pits? Brea, California, 0.84 today. Downtown LA, Brea. Brea tar pits. Wonderful thing. Let's go out to Riverside. Devore, California area, 0.69. Darn it. 0.69, Devore, California. South of there, again, on the San Andreas Fault, folks, the Redlands, 1.05, 1.03, 1.0 or 0.83, and a 0.59. The Redlands got hit. The Redlands got hit. East of there, Yucaipa got hit, a 1.01. Let's go down into the Anza Gap area. Banning, California, 0.82. San Jacinto, 0.21. San Jacinto Fault. Remember the San Jacinto and the Elsinore? Elsinore's here, San Jacinto is there. Okay, San Jacinto goes here, Elsinore goes here. Okay, it's hot, folks. It's hot. That's north of San Diego County. It's up in Orange County. We have Anza Gap area, 0.52, 0.65 in Idlewild, California. Idlewild, California. We drop into San Diego County, 0.53 up near the Orange County, San Diego County line. Then we drop into North San Diego County, northeast of Escondido. Palomar Observatory, 1.05 at Palomar. Palomar Observatory, folks. South of there, actually south and west, we have Lake Henshaw, my fishing spot, east of Escondido, my fishing spot east of Escondido. 2 earthquakes, folks. 2 earthquakes, a 1.23 and a 1.09 today. Lake Henshaw, San Diego County, east of Escondido. Used to love to fish at Lake Henshaw. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. Day's getting to me already. La Quinta, California, east of there, a 1.0. Okay, going down North San Diego County, Borrego Springs, 1.0, just at the top of the Chocolate Mountains. Borrego Springs, a 1.0. Another 0.96 also in Borrego. Okay, going down towards the mountain. This is at the top of the Chocolate Mountains on the east side of the Chocolate Mountains. Ocotillo, 1.07 today. 1.07. South and east of there, 1.07 also in Ocotillo. This is just east of what? The Salton Sea. Just east of the Salton Sea today. Now, we did not have any earthquakes around the Salton Sea or Imperial County today. Okay. Right over here, we continue to see earthquakes, but today nothing. Nothing. Calipatria, California. What is that? This is Calipatria right here. What is that? That, my friends, is where that electrical generating plant, that geothermal plant is. That geothermal plant right next to the volcano. What do we know about that geothermal plant? It generates electricity, huh? It pulls steam from the volcano, from the Salton Butte volcano. It pulls steam out and generates electricity. Generates electricity. Let me see if I can pull up another turbine, a bunch of turbines there. There's several facilities here around Calipatria. Just want to see if I can pull up another one. There's quite a few here. And they're quite noisy. They're quite noisy. You know, I'm continually surprised about the few cars. This is a very busy street behind me. A very, very busy street. But right now, because of the shutdown here in Salt Lake, it's fairly quiet. We might have 10 or 20,000 cars going past this house on a busy day. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Now, Dutch talked about over here at the Salton Sea that the Salton Buttes, there was a train track over here, but they moved it. They have moved the train track. Why did they move the train track? Because we had some mud pots. The volcano was moving. The mud pots were moving. And they had to move the railroad tracks away from the mud pots, or the Southern Pacific Railroad down there. Actually, Atchison, Topeka, Santa Fe, and Southern Pacific Railroad have joint trackage rights there. And they had to move them to keep the trains running. They had to move them to keep the trains running. All right, I just lost my map there of the Salton Sea, and it's all right. It's all right. I just wanted to show you there's still 100 plus earthquakes in Southern California. 100 plus earthquakes in Southern California here. And folks, I want to show you a couple other large earthquakes, and then we're going to call it a day. Over here in the Indian Ocean, on the mid-Indian Ridge, we had a 5.1. Okay, India's here, Africa's over here. Actually, I'm sorry, that's wrong. India's over here and Africa's over here. Okay, that's what's going on. There was a large earthquake in the Indian Ocean, mid-Indian Ridge. There's also another large earthquake over by Yonaguni, Japan. This was a 5.3, Yonaguni, Japan, south of the islands of Japan. Okay, you notice what's going on over here in Indonesia, central Indonesia for the most part, going into Java. Java, Indonesia had its share of earthquakes, look at all the earthquakes here in Java here. They got smacked around pretty good today. Java, Indonesia. Sumatra area, 2.8, 3.1. Samataria, Barat, 3.0. Here's Sumatra here. There's a 3.4. 3.4. Now what's going on over here in northwestern Australia? Fortescue, Western Australia. We have a 2.9 there. 2.9. Then out here in the open ocean over here, Indian Ocean, we have a 2.5. 2 2s over there in Western Australia. One hit right near shore and one hit in the Indian Ocean over here. Okay. It's been busy, folks. New Zealand has also been very busy. Most of these are 2s and 3s in New Zealand. 2s and 3s. Northern New Zealand had a 4.76 up near the Kermadec Islands, a 4.76 and a 4.4. 4.76, 4.4. Here's a 4.37 up in the Kermadec Island region. They've been busy. Been busy. Over here in Chile and Argentina, they've been smacked around a little bit too. All of these are they're not real small, but they're small earthquakes. The 3.1 on the south near Valparaiso, going up towards east of El Salvador, Chile. 3.6 in Jujuy, Australia. Up in Peru, we have a 3.8. Up here in northern Colombia, now we have a bunch of earthquakes. We have 4s here. We have a 4.0, 2.0, 2.2, 2.7, 2.10 in Medo, or Meadow, 2.1, 4.9 in Ecuador, northern Ecuador, northeastern Ecuador. We have a 4.5. Then over on shore, Manabi, Ecuador, we have a 4.0. Now, I know it's just past 8. We have another program coming here very shortly. I wanted to go back here over to central Indonesia. Central Indonesia over here, South Java area. Merapi volcano has erupted 4 times today. Merapi volcano in Java, Indonesia area has erupted 4 times today with rather large, strenuous eruptions in Merapi, Indonesia. Now, I know it's 8 o'clock. We've been on the air for an hour and a half, and I'm sorry to go any further, but we need to leave the air. Folks, I want to thank you for being with us. It's been a pleasure having you here. We will be back if there's anything else happens. I promise you we will be back if we see anything else happens as soon as the information gets to us, okay? Amazon Grocery is holding up with strikers. You're absolutely right, Pamela. I'm not going to order anything else from Amazon either, considering what has been going on. Yesterday, we came to find out that some hired contractor that has been delivering packages for Amazon spit on somebody's package on their doorstep, and a doorstep camera caught him. Okay, please don't answer your doors. Scooter Prices, please don't answer your doors. Yes, please don't do that. If you hear a loud rap on the door, don't answer it. Don't turn off any lights. Don't turn on any lights while they're there. Leave it alone. Don't go there. Folks, it's been a pleasure to be with you. Thank you for joining us here at the Emergency Management Associates program. It's a pleasure. We want to tell you that we love you. God bless you. Hope you have a wonderful day. As Walter Cronkite would say, and that's the way it is. Monday, March 30th, 2020. For Emergency Management Associates, this is Ron Tyler. Have a great evening, folks. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. If anything else happens, believe you me, we'll be back on here in a heartbeat as soon as the information becomes available. Have a great night. See you soon.